Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. In the last part, we finished up our endeavors here in the Elden Volcano, and now that we've picked up our second part of the Song of the Hero from here, I actually don't see any reason for us to be returning for the rest of the game. So if, like me, you kinda like the Elden Volcano region, I mean, I think it's a pretty neat place. It may be a little bit sad to see it go, but unfortunately these things happen, so it's best not to dwell on it. Let's just head back to the sky and continue our adventure. Alright, so now that we are riding the breeze with our Loftwing here again, we can check the map, and if we take a look around, we've got a couple of treasures we can pick up. This one over here on Beetle's Island, and one in the Thunderhead, which I really don't want to go get. The one on Beetle's Island might actually be a bottle. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I feel like that's what it is. That's my gut instinct talking, I guess. But, you know, my adventure pouch is pretty much good for the time being, and it'll pretty much be good for the rest of the game. So at this point, I'm not really too worried about picking those up. I'll probably just save, like, all the rest of them until just before all the final events take place, you know, so we can just get them all at once, and we can still say we collected all of them, but we don't have to waste too much time in the meantime getting to them. So since we don't have any side quests, we finished off all of those, we can basically just head straight to our next destination. We're actually very quickly approaching the end of the game, especially since basically all the side stuff is out of the way with a few minor exceptions. So, you know, it's rapidly approaching, but I guess we should just really focus on what's in front of us at the time being, and get our next part of the Song of the Hero here at the desert. So we're going to be descending over here at the Lanayru mine entry. This is actually the first place we dropped down into the Lanayru desert way back in the game, so it's pretty cool. And this time, as you might have already seen, we've got a Goron friend up here, and he wants to talk, so I guess we should see what he wants. Let's go ahead and get our claw shots out and get up there. Alright, so if you don't remember this guy, we actually gave him 10 rupees earlier on during his little expedition. He was mining for stuff, so we also told him we were searching for the Sacred Flame, so, you know, might as well update him. And he's actually going to give us some information in return about the legend of the Three Dragons. So, of course, he's certain there's a hidden area, found a narrow passageway while he was digging. And his gut tells him that the Thunder Dragon lives through there. And he's, of course, sitting there pondering the connection between all these things with a very funny face. His eyebrows are wiggling like crazy. I guess that's what Gorons do when they think. I don't know. But, of course, he's also going to report on the excavation project, found loads of time shift stones, and he's going to pay us 10 times what we invested, so it's 100 rupees in total. The 100 rupees is really not, like, beneficial to us in any way at this point in the game, but, you know, I guess it's nice to have a return on investment. So as we go through here, there's this little kind of hidden area that we're going to have to use the claw shots to get across. You could, I guess, go like all the way through the desert like we did before. This is going to lead us to somewhere we've already been, but this is really the fastest way to get there. Alright, so as we drop off and head through this doorway here, the familiar area we will be accessing is the Lanayru Cave. So remember, this is where we paid for that guy's excavation. In fact, it was just right over there. Remember, we sat on the stool and everything. So he said he uncovered this little tunnel, and in order to get through it, we're going to have to throw a bomb in there because there's some rocks blocking the way. So once we do that, that will open the path forward. And that's, of course, going to lead us to our new area for this region. I guess we can go ahead and refill on bombs, since there's so many bomb flowers here. And I guess we might as well sit and recover our couple hearts as well. There we go. Alright, so we can crawl on through to the other side here. There's a lot of these big sand piles, which may make you think there's something there, but there's really not. It's actually just a gigantic waste of time. We can also summon a Gossip Stone here if we want to get some kind of material. Again, it's really not that important at this point in the game, but in fact, yeah, he just gave me a monster claw. I really don't care, so let's just go on, you know, not waste the time. Alright, so very quickly here, we've made our way to the final area of the desert. This is the Lanayru Gorge, as Fies pointed out. This is a pretty interesting little place. This is, of course, going to be kind of the small, we have to do work section of the desert before we can get our song. And the camera kind of does some weird things here. Like every time there's a scene transition, it just like fades to black for like a couple seconds. In fact, it doesn't even fade to black, it just cuts to black. It's really weird. But you can see there's some pretty interesting terrain here with all the mine tracks around and everything. And we're finally going to uncover what I believe should be the final part of our map, the Lanayru Gorge here. So that's basically the most full you're going to see the map. So it turns out this area, although the map may look a little bit kind of, you know, it's a little daunting. There's a lot of kind of twists and turns. My Wii remote's not really working right. But it's basically linear the whole way through. We are going to be making a giant circle. But we'll get to that when we come to it. You can see there's one really interesting thing to check out here. Apart from this whole structure, which we'll get to in a bit. There's kind of like these giant bones out here, which is kind of strange. It also looks like we can talk to this. Whoa. Dude, that's creepy. I've actually never seen them. I did not know you could do that, man. And I think it even like makes a little bit of a sound too. Wow, that's kind of freaky. There are chains here? Is that what this is? Man, I do not want to know what this was that has ended up dead over here. Okay, so wow, now that we've had that kind of unnerving experience, let's go ahead and, of course, check out the bird statue first. Let's go ahead and, because that's one we can land at later, and we will actually be coming back. We've got this passage over here that's, of course, blocked by rocks. So the best thing to do would be to use our hook beetle. I don't know that we've actually used this since we've gotten the speed upgrade, but we'll be using it a couple times in this section. So we can, of course, go ahead and blow up those rocks, and that'll open up the way forward. Link is very casual about almost falling here, like just barely grabbing onto the ledges. Of course, a locked door, so nothing we can do there. However, as we come down here, you may be able to see a little bit of a glimmer there in the distance at the bottom of the screen. So you can use our hook beetle, and this is a great chance for the speed to shine. Check that out. We'll move quite a bit faster now, so our hook beetle is a lot less annoying. And of course, we pick up a small key from down there. So you can basically guess where we're going to be using that. We can head back up the path here and open the door. And that little stone tablet there just says, like, you can only enter with permission of the Thunder Dragon. So, you know, screw authority, I guess we can make our own way. Alright, so more P-hats to use claw shots on. Always good to get that old Twilight Princess feeling, you know? Every single time I have to go through P-hats on claw shots, it's always what I think of. Okay, so now that we've got this section here, you can pretty much guess what's going to happen. We've got a minecart with a time shift stone, so yeah, we get to deal with these just a little bit more. Nothing too fancy from here on, but, you know, it's always cool to see those again. And, of course, our old robot buddies. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk to this guy, see what's up. Did you get permission from Master Thunder Dragon? No, not quite, but, you know, we'll just keep that quiet. So talking to him is going to trigger the minecart to move, and it's kind of weird because he keeps talking to us even after he gets, you know, like destroyed and, you know, out of the time shift stone's range. And basically from here on out, if we take a look at the map, we can see where we're going. There's this long track going all the way around the place. So we're going to have to kind of escort this minecart for a little ways here. So we can go ahead and step on the switch first to open the door. That'll let us get to the new area. Now, along the way, a lot of enemies are going to be spawning. This room isn't too bad, especially if you can get to these technoblins before they light up their swords, because you can take them out really quick. 2 shots with the Master Sword and they're done for. So, you know, it makes it pretty easy to take care of those guys quickly. We don't really even need to worry about that thing, because it'll go away before too long. And Deku Babas are simple, just one cut, and they're done for, so, you know, it's pretty quick at this point. Oh man, he's like spawned right on top of me. That's really cool. Yeah, thankfully there is a heart plant right down there, so that'll work. Alright, and we can step on the next switch. So that was just the first of many rooms we're going to have to be escorting this thing through. Most of them aren't as combat oriented as that, but there is one later on that's actually pretty bad. So, yeah, we'll be looking forward to that. Thankfully here we can just take these guys out preemptively, which is nice. And just keep waiting on the bridges to form. So, you know, because of the whole escorting the minecart thing, you're kind of on a time limit for a lot of this, because, you know, like bridges will disappear behind you and it'll be replaced with quicksand in other places and things like that. So you kind of have to be a little quick on your toes sometimes. Alright, so let's quickly hop down before this all turns to quicksand. And now this part actually gets pretty cool. This is probably my favorite section of this. You can see the minecart's going to be taking this kind of low, twisty path through here. So we're going to have to make our way up. We can climb these vines quickly. Again, you're kind of on a time limit. Make our way over here. There. That one could be annoying. You kind of have to wait for him to lean towards you. And at this point, thankfully, the minecart's going to get stuck there, so we'll be able to take our time with this part of it. We can use our claw shot to get over here, and the switch to open that gate is actually on top of this bridge. So that'll open now. We're going to have to do a bit of claw shot work to keep up with the minecart here. And thankfully, they're very plentiful with the stamina fruits here, because you're going to be hanging on these vines for a pretty long time. So just to make our way across. It might be a good idea to just kind of forego the leaping, except when absolutely necessary, you know, so you can save your stamina. Just make our way across that. Should be a fruit. Yep, down here. We got another gap to hop across. However, I don't think we're going to be able. Yeah, we're not really going to be able to beat that one. So let's just wait. Alright, so there we go. Now that our platforms appear underneath us, we're done with that. And we're going to be doing a little bit more hook shotting, I believe. I don't remember exactly where the switch is for this one. It might just be on another bridge section. Or it is up there. Okay, so I think we're going to have to use our claw shots and get up here. So this way it can get a little bit puzzling. But it's really neat how you're kind of taking this completely separate path from the minecart. Yeah, you know, you're both kind of helping each other. The minecart giving us ways to get across, and us, of course, opening gates by pressing switches. So with this section, it's pretty neat because there's all these keys flying around, but since they are, like, I guess, kind of the present time keys, they get destroyed whenever they enter the time shift stone's range. So even though you think those might be really annoying, you're always safe. So it's cool because you can see them just disappear right in front of you. So we can just continue our way through here. This is pretty simple. It's kind of annoying that you have to wait a little bit, but again, I think the concept is kind of neat, so I don't mind too much. Alright, and then a final patch of vines here. We can drop down. And now we can walk right alongside the minecart. Yeah, we're going to be dealing with a lot of chews here, which can get kind of annoying because they drop down right in front of you. And there's also, oh yes, more jelly blobs. Sweet, almost forgot about those. So we're up to almost 20 at this point, 19, just one more. There we go. There's our 20th jelly blob. So some congratulations are in order, I suppose. And we can take out these decubabas, no real problem here. Yeah, sometimes you actually hit the minecart with the sword too, and get kind of annoying. So obviously we're gonna have to use the whip to pull this down. Alright, ooh. It pretty much works best to just swing your sword wildly. Now this part can get a little annoying. The first few aren't too bad, but later on they get a whole bunch in a row. So you kind of have to figure out like which side they're gonna get stuck on and pass through. You can also, I guess, kind of preempt them a little bit and pass through them before they start getting stuck on the minecart. But you know, most of the time I prefer to just wait. We're also gonna have to use the whip to swing across. Oh man, I actually didn't mean to pick that up because now we have to sit through this little animation. Alright, so the whip one more time. Now this is the section that's kind of a gauntlet. You can see we've got quite a lot of spinners coming up here. So at this point it might be because you can see they're really close together too, so it's kind of hard to, oh yeah, see, I got hit. Okay, well we'll just make our way through there. I thought I would be close enough along the wall. Yeah, I usually always get hit like at least once through there. I have made it through before without getting hit, but you know, really it's just not worth it. Now at this part we've got a little bit of a puzzle to figure out. You can see we've got this gate here. We wait till it's out of range and then we can use these stamina fruits to make our way up. Doesn't feel like a long run, but you do need the stamina fruits. There we go. Then once we get up here, we can of course refill our hearts and pull down the wall switch to go further. Be very quick about this because you don't want to drop down into the quicksand. Alright, now at this point we have a ultra super annoying combat section coming up. Got a lot of these Technoblins, we've also got some Beamos in the way. So they're pretty much priority number one for the most part. There we go. Thankfully that shoe decided not to bother me. We can take this guy out. We've also got a Centrobe along the way, and you know how annoying these things are. Alright, I'm also going to go ahead and take out this Beamos. I usually try to take them out first because they can hit you from pretty much anywhere. So once you've taken care of that, I guess we can deal with this thing now. Okay, well he's just going to disappear, which is fine with me. So there's that. Okay, yeah. So you could use arrows from a distance, but I just... because the quicksand is appearing behind you. So, you know, I didn't want to just stand there and have to aim and end up, you know, getting stuck in the sand, but... Alright, well we made it through without too much trouble. That basically takes care of it. Oh, as well take up this heart. Whew, alright, so yeah, that room is not too fun, but you know, you shouldn't really be in danger of dying. It's just kind of annoying. Okay, so we're almost done. We're about to reach the end of this. If you take a look at our map, you can see we're coming back around to the main area, so... And from this point on, it's really simple. I mean, I think, yeah, there's just like a couple Deku Babas along the way to take care of, which is just one slice and you're done. However, this is going to get blocked by these rocks, so we're going to have to use our Hook Beetle. And that'll let it continue along its way. And then I think one Quadro Baba here, which again, with the Master Sword, one slice and they're done. So those guys are a lot easier now. Jelly Blob, can I get it? Was it worth it? I don't know. It wasn't worth it. Oh, and we have to do that whole thing over. Oh, man, that kind of sucks. Alright, this time no Jelly Blobs to tempt me. My greed got the best of me, it seems. But now that the minecart has made it along this path, we can now finally watch it reach its destination. Oh, so cool. Looks like that was actually the Thunder Dragon all along. Oh, well, you didn't have to be so creepy, man. It looks he's kind of coughing a bit there. Let's talk to this robot, see what's up. But yeah, the Master Thunder Dragon is very ill. It's worried about him. At this rate, our master may cease functioning. Well, you know, I don't want to just tell you the future, but yeah, dude dies. You know, pile of bones in the desert. It's pretty sad, actually. Alright, so let's talk to the Thunder Dragon. He seems to be not so well. In fact, coughing quite loudly. So he's actually not very impressed by our name, which I don't know. I like the simplicity of Link. He wants to give us a model number, LD Link 16. But no, I think we'll just stick with Link. You know, I guess it would be kind of funny if at the very beginning of the game you actually named him LD Link 16. You know, that'd be a long way to go for one little joke during this part, but still. Alright, so of course the Thunder Dragon, much like the Fire Dragon, realizes that we're the hero chosen by the goddess. So, you know, again, both of them smarter than the Water Dragon, but unfortunately says he can't really help. He may have enough strength for a brief chat, but he's actually quite ill. No shape to sing. Well, you can, like, write sheet music or something, right? You don't, you know, like, how to read sheet music and all that? Alright, so unfortunately, the Thunder Dragon can't really do much for us. However, the robots were worried about him, so they planted a seedling from the Tree of Life. It's said to be able to cure any illness. Planted it over there, but it just won't grow. So yeah, this probably isn't the best place to try to grow something. And you can tell what he's talking about if we take a look. Let's see if I can figure out which direction. There it is, over here. You can see there's this tree that they've planted, but of course now it's completely surrounded by desert and quicksand and all that. So obviously it's not really going to have a chance to grow. And of course, Robot mentions that as well. We can make our way over there, which we might as well do. It's probably in our best interest to cure this guy so he can sing us his part of the song. So let's just make our way over here real quick. Oh man, I was dangerously low on stamina. So yeah, we can check out this tree and you can see it's basically dead. There's not really anything we're going to be able to get off of this. We can, however, use the gust bellows and blow this away, revealing a time shift stone. So let's go ahead and check this out. And you can see the tree actually gets reverted to its seedling that these guys planted. So let's go ahead and talk with this guy. He seems to be the one in charge of the seedling here. So of course the soil here is not suitable for growing trees, if only we had more time. So at this point, you're kind of just left to figure it out, which I actually like quite a lot. This is really one of the first times that they just say, okay, here's this seedling, figure it out. I mean, there are a lot of hints along the way, like this guy saying if we needed more time, this soil isn't good for growing trees. So first things first, before we deal with that, let's go ahead and hit this goddess cube. I guess it could be easy to forget that one if you're trying to figure out this puzzle. Alright, but let's, obviously this seedling is just not going to do the trick here. So let's go ahead and we can actually dig this up, which is kind of mean. They're planting this thing for the Thunder Dragon, or it's like, but let's just take it. We need this seedling. So of course he doesn't quite approve, but he thinks maybe we need to help him out. Well, yeah. So make sure to plant the seedling somewhere it'll be sure to thrive. So that's also another hint. Growing it in Lanayru province is impossible, so there's nowhere in this region we're going to be able to plant it. So this is one case where you kind of have to think back a little bit. Where have we been where they've talked about planting something? Obviously, Farron Woods is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of plants. Obviously the volcano is just not going to cut it. So we're going to be going back there, and also to get back, we're going to have to send our hook beetle out. We can hit this with an arrow, but it's a really tricky shot. I have hit it before, but it takes less time to just send the hook beetle after it. Alright, so this will let us get back across. So now that we have the seedling in our possession, basically we're going to have to figure out where we need to plant it. So obviously, first step is to head back up to the sky. And obviously, Farron Woods is where we're going to be heading. So let's go ahead and recenter that again. And where we're going to head is, let's go ahead and stop by the sealed grounds. There we go. If I can click on the thing, I don't know, it was giving me so much trouble. But obviously, a lot of you have probably already figured it out, especially if you've obviously played the game before, you pretty much know. But at this point, this is where something we heard Groose talk about last time we were here, and also, thankfully, no imprisoned battle. That would just be annoying. But, yeah, so this is something we heard Groose talk about last time we were here. He mentioned that little spot over inside the temple where he thought, it might be nice to plant something here. That wasn't just completely random. There was a point to that. So let's go ahead and head into the temple. And there we go. So there's the Gate of Time. Let's see if our old lady is around somewhere. Yeah, it looks like she's sitting up here. So we can go ahead and just talk to her, get a little bit of conversation going. And I guess we can tell her about what happened in the woods. So yeah, it doesn't look like she's got much to say, which is fine. We can also talk to Groose here, of course, because he's staring at this spot. So let's talk to him here. That's a serious seedling, yeah, pretty much. So he definitely seems to think it'll grow for sure. I don't know when Groose became like a plant expert, but he says, unfortunately, it's going to take basically forever to grow into a full tree. So this is where we're going to have to utilize the fact that, of course, the Gate of Time is still open. So we can make our way back here. And thankfully, this thing is still available to us. Alright, now we're back in the Temple of Hylia, however many years in the past. So we could talk to Impa. I guess, we can start up a conversation here. And she pretty much points this out to you. You can see that sunny patch of earth. Might be nice to plant a tree of some sort. And of course, it would make Zelda happy to see a big tree welcoming her back. I guess that's a good idea. Yeah, for some reason, she has like a specific tree in mind. It's a rare tree that grows strong for thousands of years. It's like, well, okay, you could pretty much plant any tree, couldn't you? I mean, I don't know why it has to be some, like, rare ancient tree, but, well, we've got a seedling, so let's go ahead and plant this thing. And, of course, get a little tone to let us know that we did, in fact, do the correct thing. So you can talk to Impa again on the way out if we want.
Oh.
Okay, so it seems like we are good to go. Let's go ahead and head back to our present time. Sweet. So there is our tree. Man, if only planting trees was this easy, right? Just go back in time and then come back to the present time and hey, look, it's a full-grown tree. So I kind of wonder what Groose saw during all this. Did he just like see the tree materialize in front of him? I mean, I guess he kind of knew that we went back in time and planted it, so maybe that wouldn't surprise him too much, but let's see what he's got to say about this. It's a tree you can look at all day. It's like a symbol for this temple. Well, maybe so. Gets this weird happy feeling. Well, I'm glad you're so happy about a tree. Anyway, what we're here for is this. You can see it's now born a fruit, so let's go ahead and roll into it. And we can pick it up. And this is the life tree fruit. It'll cure any illness, and we can take it to the Thunder Dragon. So we went through all this trouble, planted a tree and had it grow for however many thousand years, just to cure this Thunder Dragon of a cold, so he can sing for us. Seems a little overkill, but you know what? I kind of like it, so let's head back out. And now we can head back down to the Linear Gorge and deliver the fruit to the Thunder Dragon. And of course, this whole kind of ordeal reminds me a little bit of the Sunstone from Chrono Trigger. If any of you have ever played that and remember that section, you kind of have to leave the stone in a cave for a little bit longer time. We leave it there at like 1,000,000 BC or something, and it kind of gets like stolen along the way and stuff. But so this is kind of like a lesser version of that, but it's kind of neat, the same kind of concept. So since we have our fruit, let's go ahead and just give this to the Thunder Dragon. And I actually kind of like this little scene here. He just like pulls this giant fruit out of his pocket. You can even see him like reaching back with one hand, like he's gonna pull out his wallet or something. And it's this giant fruit. Tell you what, man, that guy's got some energy. The Thunder Dragon is definitely, hands down, my favorite of the three dragons. He's got such a personality, I really like it. Alright, so yeah, thanks to us, he's going to keep charging for a while, and now he's going to give us his moving rendition of his part of the Song of the Hero. So yeah, dude's a bass. Man, he's got an awesome voice. So he's got the best personality, he's the best singer. You know, I mean, this dragon pretty much takes the cake. Alright, so he's also going to tell us that if we give him some time to prepare, he's going to have something for us as a reward. And now Fi is going to congratulate us on collecting 3 parts of the song. Now we have to meet up with Levias in order to get the 4th part. Alright, so there you go. That's the whole Lanayru Desert section. You know, these last few ones are pretty quick. But now that we have our 3rd part of the song, we've just got to go get the 4th. And then basically to the end of the game we go. However, this seems like a pretty good place to stop for right now, so next time I guess we can see what this guy's got prepared for us as a reward, and then we can continue our adventure. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.